Malcolm Penn. He's the founder of Future Horizons, a company which provides analysis on computer chips and the electronics industry. Joining us from London, Malcolm, thank you for coming onto this program. Just tell us, why is there a global chip shortage?
Okay, well, thank you for inviting me. The real problem fundamentally comes from the fact that the time it takes to actually manufacture these devices is very long, a minimum of 4 months and more likely closer to 6 months. So whereas demand can change very quickly up and down, the time for the industry to respond is very long indeed. So if you want something now, you have to order it 6 months ago. And most people didn't do that. So you find that because we don't carry inventory of these devices nowadays, the world is much more attuned to running a much more efficient balance sheet. So inventories and stock and work in progress are kept to a minimum. The ability for the industry to respond is very limited indeed. And that means that there often isn't enough capacity in place to actually make these devices as well.
So, Malcolm, how is all of this now affecting consumers, and not just at the moment, but in the months ahead?
Well, what tends to happen when you have a shortage is that manufacturers of the end equipment will tend to concentrate on the production of devices that are the most profitable for them. So the first thing you'll see as a consumer is that the very low-end entry products are almost certainly going to be in much shorter supply. Whereas the high-end, high-margin products will be slightly more readily available. So you'll see a restriction in choice, and you'll see a restriction in model availability.
So is there a solution here? I mean, is it possible to produce cheaper chips that may be slightly older, or ramp up production as a whole?
No, not really, because the capacity is constrained throughout the product line, and there's no real spare capacity. As I said earlier, the manufacturers have tried to run their factories at maximum volume, so there isn't any real spare available. So what you find is you've actually now got to build new factories, and we started doing this a year ago, but it takes 2 years to build a new factory. So you just have to wait it out. And in that time there, the chip manufacturers will simply maximize the production that they have, the orders that they have. They'll skew those and maximize those to the parts where they'll make the most profit and get the most return, the most revenue from their limited capacity. This is quite normal. It's basic economics.
Okay, so no iPhone 13s for those of us who are looking for it at the end of the year. Malcolm Penn, great to have you on the program. Thank you so much.